Hi everyone, this is my discussion for the module free differences between exercises. So my free weight one that I will be discussing is the dumbbell shoulder press, which is very popular ones to use either in the workout classes or in the gym. It's actually one that I do a lot personally whenever I am strength training. Um, so, good thing about this exercise is that it could be performed seated or standing. I normally do it seated with the benches. So, um, for this one to start off with, um, I would usually take two dumbbells and then sit straight up against the bench. I would also adjust the bench um, almost on a diagonal so that I'm kind of perpendicular with the floor. So one dumbbell in each hand, and then as you raise the dumbbells up, you just press up and then resist back down. Now, a lot of compensations or errors that could be seen is pushing too far on an incline when it's not supposed to be an incline. So you want to think up and then back down. And then a lot of times it's easy to compensate and bring your shoulders up if the weight is too heavy. That would mean you would just have to go down. But a lot of the form cues are typical to be shoulders down and back, creating a nice retraction, and then making sure you're pressing up, straight up, and then down instead of out and down. If we were doing an incline press, that would be slightly different. This specific exercise works a lot of muscle groups, specifically like the pec muscles, and then the deltoids, and then also works with the full trap muscles, and then also with the triceps as it works for extensions too. Even in standing too, there's also times where this exercise could put a lot of strain on the back. So if you're standing with feet shoulder width apart and then pressing, you would have to spread your stance out a little bit more just to provide more stability and balance. And then also, it could also be a sign to lower down the weight. So, for my personal weight, I typically use about 15 pounds. I don't go too crazy. I go to where it's challenging enough for me, and it's working the right muscle groups, but not overwhelming or hard to do. Now, let's say if I were to progress, if I'm ready to progress, I would take it up to a 20 pound. If I had to regress, that would be to lower the weight down. I would just lower it down to a 5 or a 10 pound just to make it a little bit easier, especially like if I'm going through a muscle strain or an injury. So regression could come from that, and then progression could come from if you're doing the reps needed very, very effortlessly. So a lot of great benefits for this specific exercise is that it works a lot of the upper body instead of just specifically the shoulders. It really focuses on that upper back, lower neck, and even some groups in the arm and our chest muscles too. So it encompasses a lot of upper extremity strength and stability, and it really helps with strengthening different muscle groups, which is really nice in an exercise. So it's multifunctional and very beneficial. So some advantages of this exercise is that it is, like I said, it's multifunctional, so it's strengthening different parts of the upper extremity, and it also helps with increasing stability and balance within the upper extremity. and also includes your range of motion. And because of the scap retraction that we have to work on while performing the shoulder press, it also really helps with postural effects and improving all of those as well. And next, the non-traditional exercise that I will discuss is so a lot of these are great workout classes, like such as hiking and running, all the good things. But the one that I will discuss is actually water aerobics. Now, water aerobics is a type of aerobic training that gets you in the pool, and then you're also doing very easy aerobic training. There's so many benefits to this, and it's actually popular within the senior, older adult population. So it's a very low impact activity, and being in the water in general just relieves pressure off of joints, muscle, and bones. So it's not very strenuous, which is really nice. And then the water also offers added resistance as well. So it's not super strenuous. It's not taxing, and there's not a lot of load on the body, which really helps for the older population. But it could also help for the average adult population as well. So a lot of the benefits for this one are very improved factors in cardiac health, and also improves muscular endurance and strength. And it's very accessible too for other people, because a lot of times they host these as classes, which is really, really nice, especially in like a large pool or like a therapy pool. It also reduces a lot of stress, which helps with, living very healthy and making sure that we're all relaxed. So a lot of these movements are very similar to training. There is a lot of strengthening portions of it, and working on a kickboard maybe, and then also varying variations of walking and running within the water. And as we can tell, the workouts are done pretty much in the shallowest end of the pool for the most part, just so that it's easy for the individual to stand in the water without worrying about not being able to balance under the water. So for a progression for this one, I think what would be good is to progress with the amount of added resistance used, because the water is naturally resistant, but there's lots of strength exercises that can be performed within water aerobics. So just using the added resistance, or maybe trying a more challenging class to see if there's like different variations of it, and to see which type of free strengthening exercises could be performed within the class. And then a regression is to probably not go as frequently, or to try to take a generalized water aerobics class that doesn't have any resistance training. But either or, there are lots of benefits to this, and it's really good to not be performed on for a hard amount of training. And those are the two exercises that I will discuss. Thank you for listening.